Supreme Court Associate Justice Antonin Scalia. His new book is titled Reading Law, The Interpretation of Legal Texts.
Layman's definition of textualist?
A textualist is someone who believes that the meaning of a statute is to be derived exclusively from the text enacted by Congress and signed by the President, or else repassed over his veto. The text is the sole source that the judge ought to be using in making his judgment. It is said in some Supreme Court opinions that sometimes the letter of the law is contrary to its spirit, and its spirit must prevail. That's nonsense. The letter of the law is the letter of the law. That's what we're governed by. We're not governed by some judicial determination of spirit, which could be anything. But the statement comes up often. It is an empowerment of judges. Judges can simply say, oh, yes, the text says that, but that's contrary to the spirit of the law, and we're going to go ahead and do whatever we like. I mean, that's just not democratic self-government if people can't have their representatives write a statute which is to be applied as written. Sometimes it's a terrible result because that's the terrible statute that Congress wrote. And the rule, the rule for a judge ought to be garbage in, garbage out. If you're dealing with an inane statute, you are duty-bound to produce an inane result.
The modern Congress sails close to the wind all the time.
Yeah, that followed upon our statement that traditionally Congress is, you assume the constitutionality of any statute that Congress enacts, because it is assumed that Congress would not, indeed, if there is even constitutional doubt, you give the Congress the benefit of the doubt. In recent years, however, it's more questionable whether Congress is really even thinking about the constitutionality, and that passage recites the fact that this is evident from the content of their statutes. I mean, who would have ever thought in the 19th century, for example, that Congress would pass a statute which says, in the event the stuff we've just said is unconstitutional, we have this other provision instead, which is what Congress has done. I mean, that makes you wonder, are they really sure this stuff is constitutional? Have they really thought about it?